4. Wow, here's round number 2 for the top alcohol funny cars. Presented by Lucas Oil, where Kris Hool picks his lane. Thomas Carter will get a bye into semifinals. And then it will be Paul Gill and Roger Bateman, the two best cars we've seen so far on the property here this weekend. Time now to catch up with Lauren Bowman, who earlier caught up with Kris Hool, who's got a very big goal in mind for the 2011 season.
Kris and Kevin Hool are essentially a two-man band. They have done virtually no racing since 2004, and here in 2011 they have grand plans of racing in all 7 divisions. Kris, as the driver, what has this season been like?
It was, we started off with a win, our first ever win in Bradenton, Florida, so that was the ultimate high of the season. And then we went to the final at the 3rd divisional and red lit by 1,000, which was disappointing. But the car's been running. Kevin's got the car running flawless. I haven't done my job at a couple of the races, but you just pick yourself up, and hopefully today will be a different day.
You just dust yourself off. Now, in a perfect world, what would your plans for next season be?
We'd like to run as many races as we did this year. We've got 20 planned this year, and hopefully finish in the top 10 this year and top 5 next year.
Kris and Kevin are currently tied for 7th in the national point standings.
And now it's time for round number 2, where the man we just met, Kris Hool, is on the racetrack, set to take on the number 1 qualifier the weekend, Vern Moats, the 70-year-old self-employed man of Des Moines, Iowa.
Love the back of the race car. Longevity rules. He told me it took him a long while to get those letters back. I said, on the back of that car, I said, why? I said, has taken that after the first word. No, I just made that up. Vern Moats qualified number 1 here. The first time that he's been number 1 since Denver in 2000, which also happened to be the last race that he won. So maybe an omen here for Vern. Loves racing here at Brainerd, the perennial Division 5 champion. Of course, this is the Division 5 area. Let's go back and check in with Lauren.
Kris was actually working on his car last evening and got a piece of metal in his eye. He went to the first aid station and they flushed it out for him, but it was still very red and irritating when I spoke with him earlier this morning and again in the staging lanes just prior to this run. We'll see if it causes him any issues seeing the tree or making this fast.
Sometimes those distractions, though, get you focused in a little bit better, too.
Well, he's got to be focused because that Kendall car over there for Vern Moats has made about as many runs down the racetrack as almost anyone in the history of this class. Very solid contender. He's got a pretty good race car here this weekend.
Stumble a little bit about the 330-foot mark. Pedaled it, got back on it, but it's Kool who goes the distance, 569, 257 miles an hour.
That's a pretty good run there for that team, 257 miles an hour at the top end, and you were absolutely right. It was a very nice run for Vern Moats. He was almost 500s better off the starting line, but then at almost every increment down the racetrack, Kris Hool, the purple car, just closed the gap on him, and then when Vern caught the top end, that was all she wrote. Kris gets the win in the semifinals.
At the starting line on a beautiful day here in Brainerd, Minnesota. Temperatures have been
racetrack.
Yes, I sure am. And Kris, we're talking about your eye, and I mentioned that you'd gotten some metal in it, but you just took out Vern Moats. It appears that it's not causing any issues.
Not right now. Vern's been doing this a long time, and to take him out quite a feat, but this is all to my brother Kevin and my mom, so pretty good feeling.
You obviously see the emotion. He lost his mom about a year and a half ago.
Things like that put a lot of wins or losses in proper perspective, so good weekend for the family.
Yeah, especially when you got a good race car, too. That always helps. We got more Alcohol Funny Cars plus Dragsters next. Lucas Oil National.